On December 3rd, we celebrate the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. It aims to promote better understanding of disability issues and mobilize support for the rights and well-being of persons with disability. On this day, we also celebrate their achievements and their contributions to society. This year's theme, Achieving 17 Goals for the Future We Want, emphasizes the importance of ensuring inclusive and equitable development for persons with disabilities.
It's estimated that 15% of the world's population live with disability. The figure represents more than 1 billion people in the world. 80% of the people with disability live in developing countries, and majority of them belong to the poorer segments of the population. The Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability has given us an important framework to uphold the dignity of the persons with disabilities and ensure that they have equitable access to development gains in all spheres of life. In line with the Convention, UNDP has been deliberate in involving people with disability in our development work, especially in the areas of governance and social protection. Our work on the inclusion of people with disabilities can only be truly successful if UNDP itself is a more inclusive organization.
In line with the objective of promoting inclusion of persons with disabilities, in UNDP and its work, we have been implementing various measures to ensure reasonable accommodation across our offices. One priority area is ensuring the accessibility of our offices and facilities. This includes installing tactile pavement, handrails and elevators, widening corridors and putting in place ramps, remodeling bathrooms, implementing adaptations to ensure accessibility of our websites, printing Braille business cards, and many others.
În poziție se coordonează un proiect de ajustare a clădirii Casei ONU prin instalarea unui ascensor, care de fapt este destinat nu doar persoanelor cu dizabilități, dar oricăror persoane pentru care este nevoie să se ridice la etajul 3, 4 în anumite condiții.
The main thing for the people with disability is the accessibility of the area of working for feeling comfortable physically and mentally.
Another important priority is promoting the employment and career advancement of persons with disabilities, both in their local labor markets as well as in UNDP. As part of this work, country offices in Armenia, Moldova, Belarus, and some others have started internship programs that offer an opportunity to persons with disabilities to gain working experience in the UN and thus be more competitive and successful in their job search.
I just feel like more confident, and I believe in myself. I say, everyone, just do it, just apply, and everything's gonna be okay.
In addition to its work on accessibility and reasonable accommodation internally, UNDP has been working through its projects and programs to raise awareness of disability issues, promote the empowerment of persons with disabilities, and to foster a more inclusive environment in their countries and communities. Several UNDP country offices have implemented advocacy campaigns and other initiatives to increase inclusion of persons with disabilities.
UNDP, we are absolutely committed to support the governments and to work together with civil society and all relevant actors to translate change into action. The Sustainable Development Goals are founded on the principle of leaving no one behind, and persons with disabilities are explicitly included in this new global agenda. Recognition of the needs of persons with disabilities is critical for strengthening their access to primary social services, such as education, healthcare, housing, and government offices.
For the first time, Cambodia has a radio broadcast that is done by and for persons with disabilities. My Voice, My Rights is a weekly roundtable discussion. Its mission is to provide an airway for people with disabilities to make their voices heard as equal citizens of the country. In Uzbekistan, a photo shoot session was dedicated to featuring women with disabilities as beautiful and empowered individuals to counteract negative stereotypes. It was organized as part of a national awareness campaign on the rights of persons with disabilities and aimed, among others, to train journalists on how to report on disability issues. UNDP Armenia organized a mapathon, an initiative to raise awareness on the accessibility of public places for persons with disabilities. As part of the Mapathon, UNDP staff and the public walked around in downtown Yerevan in predefined directions and mapped accessible places for persons with disabilities using a special mobile application. The UNDP Regional Service Center for Africa has also been supporting the establishment of the African Disability Forum, ADF, a regional network of disabled persons organizations. The ADF was formally launched in November 2014 and works in partnership with all organizations that share ADF objectives and promote the rights and inclusion of persons with disabilities in Africa.
UNDP is committed to sustainable human development that includes people of all abilities. Overcoming barriers that limit the full access and participation of persons with disabilities in society and in development on an equal basis with others is an essential component to supporting stable societies, to reduce inequalities, and to make progress towards the achievement of Agenda 2030. We must ensure that we continue to make concrete efforts to integrate a disability-inclusive approach to our work and to better understand and more effectively address disability as a driver of social inequality and exclusion.
We are committed to ensure UNDP is a great place to work for anyone who shares our passion. We are committed to creating a workplace that is diverse and inclusive. People with disabilities are an important part of that diverse pool of talent, and we are determined to tap into this valuable resource and bring to UNDP the specialized skills that they have and we need. To achieve this in BMS, we are working on a project to advance the inclusion of people with disabilities in UNDP. The project will include the development and implementation across UNDP of a series of initiatives to eliminate barriers and create an enabling environment to the employment and retention of persons with disabilities. We count on you to leave no one behind. We count on you to walk the talk. We count on you to make UNDP a much more inclusive employer.